Hey guys, this is Will Hader doing Packet Tracer 7412 for the course number 2 CCNA Packet Tracer Chapter 7. This is going to be the Skills Integration Challenge, of course, and it's kind of a tough one. It's kind of tough. We got to wrap our minds around a bunch of IP addressing schemes and wildcard masks, and I think that's the extent of it. Not too hard if you can get that figured out. So divide this network address, subnet mask, into two equal subnets for use on branch. So what I did is I made a Excel spreadsheet, and you guys can have it if you want. Just email me, whalehater@gmail.com, with a request, and I can send you the file. What it is a super duper, still needs some work, IP address maker. So here's our IP address entered in there, our subnet mask, and we have to divide this into two equals, so we're just going to borrow one extra bit here from the third octet. So right now we're at a /19, that's this column. We want to be at a /20, so we can borrow that 16th bit for an extra network portion for our subnet mask. So we're going to turn that into a /20, and then this, when we do end up borrowing from it, it's going to be a 16-bit turned on, so that's going to be a 144, because that's 128. You can see 128 plus 16 would be 144, and you can see that just pop up there. But we'll leave it at the 128 for now, and let's pull it down here. You can see right here I've got the first address and the last address, and then the broadcast address and the network. Also a wildcard mask, but we won't use that for this. Okay. What does it want us to do? Interface G00, it says assign the last usable address of the second subnet. Okay, so that's going to be the 144. Here's the last address here, and that's going to be IP address 172.16.159.254, subnet mask 240.0. Next to 1, it's going to be the 128. Assign the last usable address of the first subnet to that one, G01. Okay, so that's going to be this address here. I think everything else is the same, it's just that 43 there that needs to get changed over. Okay, what's next? Document the addresses in the table above. Ta-da, you do that yourself. Configure branch routing with the appropriate addressing. We did that. Configure B1. Ta-da. With appropriate addressing using the first available address of the network to which it is attached. Okay, so this is a G01 interface, as is this. This is a G00. Here's a G01 and a G01. These are both S000, and here's an S01, just for clarification. So if he belongs to the G00, that is the 144 address. Change that to the 145. That's the second subnet. And the first available address is right there. That's a 240 address. And the gateway is 172. It's the very last IP address in that range right there. Oops. 59.254. Okay, that's done. What's next? B1, been documented above. Let's see, configure HQ and branch 2 with RIP version 2 routing according to the following criteria. Advertise all 3 attached networks. Do not advertise the link to the internet. Configure appropriate interfaces as passive. So for branch, his passive interfaces are going to be anything attached to networks. HQ is going to have these be the passive interfaces, and then this one as well, since it said don't advertise about the internet, or to it, I would imagine. All right, let's start with branch. Router RIP, and it's going to be version 2, and we're going to let's see, let's start off with no auto summary so we don't forget. Network is going to be 172.16. .128, 0, 144, 0, and then the 192, because we want to share to the 168.0.0 network. Okay, I think that is that for that. Let's do their passive interfaces. G00, G01, and S. Nope. I think, yeah, that one just has those 2, not 3. Okay, we're done with that guy. HQ now. Let's do router RIP version 2, no auto summary. Network is going to be the 172.16.0.0 network, if I remember correctly. Yes. I'm going to do the 64 network. I want to do the 192.168.0.0 network. And that is it for him as far as those. Now we're going to pause here, look down one extra step, and it's going to say that we want to set a default route on HQ, which directs traffic to S001, the internet, if it doesn't know where it's supposed to go. So that's like the default route. To make sure that that stuff gets forwarded, that information gets forwarded to branch, because it says redistribute the route to branch, we have to do a default information originates. So make sure you get that in there. Passive interfaces is going to be G00, G01, and then S001. Okay, we did our no auto sum. I always forget about that one. That's why I'm kind of paranoid about forgetting it now. Okay, what else do we have on here that needs to be done? I think that's it. IP routes is going to be our default route that we got to make. There's that. Now it comes to the access list. Design a named access list, HQ server, and that is right here, I believe, to prevent any computers attached to the gigabit Ethernet 00 interface on branch 0, so that's these guys, okay, from accessing the HQ server over here. All other traffic is permitted. Configure the access list on the appropriate router, apply it to the appropriate interface, and in the appropriate direction. So for standard control lists, not extended, standard control lists, you always want to do it on the closest interface to the thing you're trying to protect. In this instance, we're trying to protect the HQ server, so the closest interface would be that guy on this router, because we can't do it on a switch since switches don't do that. So do IP access list standard, because it has to be a named one, and we're going to give it the name HQ server. Everything's spelled right? Everything's spelled right. Okay, enter. And we're going to want to deny any traffic coming from this guy up here. Remember which one was he part of? The 144 group. Okay. So I'm going to go that one down there. 144 group. All right, so we want to deny any traffic from this network address and that wildcard mask. Just look at that as a 255. I know this Excel spreadsheet needs work. All right, 0, 0, 0, 15, 255. Okay, enter. We want to permit anything else after that. Any. All right, that one's done. Exit interface. We're going to go to the G01 interface. G01, and we need to say IP access group. The standard, just the word. HQS erber. And then we're going to put it in the out direction. So coming from this direction, going out that interface, block it. Enter. Exit. Next. Design a named access list branch server to prevent any computer attached to the Gigabit Ethernet 00 interface of HQ router. That's that guy. So anything up here from accessing branch server. Ta-da! All other traffic is permitted. Configure the... Okay, so the same thing except on the other side. If it's coming from this direction, we block it as close to the application as we can get, close to the end as we can, right there. So that interface on this router. All right, so we're going to say IP access list standard, give it a name of branch server. Then we say deny, and we're going to deny anything from this one up here. Let me get my little fancy dancy thing. That is a 18.116.64. All right, so the network address is here, and here is the wildcard mask, 63.255. Sorry, those hashtags are really bothering me. 172.164.0. Wildcard mask is 63, is that right? 63.255. And then permit anything else wanting to access that. All right, so let's exit out of here. Interface G0, and that's the G01 interface. G01 IP access group branch server out. And there it is. We are done. Everything is working properly. So again, if you guys want to have this, I'll try to clean it up before I give it to anybody. But yeah, this is a really cool tool, lifesaver for me. It saves a lot of time trying to figure out things. Instead of writing stuff on a page, you can kind of automatically enter it in and it'll figure it out for you. You know why? Because I'm awesome. That's why. So everything else is done. I'm pretty sure, yeah, we got our 60 points and we are ready to turn this sucker in and get some A's. Because that's the only type of grade we know how to get, right? Yes. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much for watching. Please comment below if you have any questions. And, of course, subscribe. We're coming out with videos like this frequently for your benefit so we can all become a close-knit access control list master full admin group on the internet, and we will help each other and do well, and yeah, whatever else. I guess I'm just rambling.